Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Rabbanit Bracha here, just back from a 2-week trip in Israel, and really delighted to be home and to share a Devar Torah with my family and community. This week, Parashat Vayetzei, about Yaakov fleeing from his brother's wrath. A motif that comes up so often with Yaakov is Even, which means stone, Abanim, which means stones. Let me point out the places where it appears. He rests, he reaches a place, it is nightfall, and first thing he does, Vayikach me'avnei hamakom, he took from the stones of the place, Vayasem mera'ashotav, he put it around his head. Rashi explains that is to protect himself. He feels more protected from wild animals. And then his famous dream of the angels going up and down the ladder. And when he wakes up in the morning, he says, one of my favorite psukim, Achen yesh Hashem b'makom hazeh v'anochi lo yadati. God is in this place and I didn't realize, I didn't know. It's just beautiful to think that we unexpectedly encounter God in different places. And when he gets up in the morning, so it's true that when he went to sleep, he put many stones, and there are midrashim that explain why there's only one stone now. But in any case, again, the word Even comes up. And he took it and he makes it into a monument for God. He pours shemen, he pours oil, and he speaks to God. Continuing on, when he goes to the well and he ends up meeting the love of his life, Rachel, the first thing that he sees is that Even Gdola al Pi Be'er. There's a big Even, a big stone on top of the well, and the shepherds actually have to wait until enough of them gather in order to take it off. But when he sees Rachel, his heart is filled with love and the adrenaline courses through his veins, and on his own, he is able to take it off. Vayigash Yaakov came close, approached Vayagil et ha'even me'al pi ha'be'er, and he was able to take off the stone just by himself from the well. And then the story continues. And one more place where an Even comes up is towards the end of the parasha, where he makes an agreement, a treaty, some sort of a monument. What does he do? He does this with his kinfolk, the kinfolk of his wives. Vayikach Yaakov Aben, and again, he takes a stone and turns it into a monument. And it's interesting that Even comes up so many times. I have a cousin who has a weekly learning group, and he shared a thought with me that Even, you could separate it into two Hebrew words, Av and Ben. Av is a father, Ben is a son, or perhaps more universally, could be parent and child. And that Yaakov is so connected with the parent-child relationship. We know that he had a complicated relationship with his father, but he also inherited his father and his grandfather's blessing. And he was very close to his mother, Rivka. And then in this parasha, 11 of his 12 sons are born, and he's passing on his legacy to them. So there's a lot about the connection of Av and Ben and how important it is. And when I think of it, it's a beautiful way to erect a monument to God with an Even saying that I appreciate my past, the Avot, the ones that came before me, and I appreciate Banim, the ones who are coming after me. And in this parasha, we see the flow coming so beautifully, especially since most of his children are born. We know how important children are to us, and thinking today of the precious release of the first of the hostages in Israel, and the first ones to be released was always requested, the women and the children, the mothers and the children, or the grandmothers, and thinking about this connection, how the children are so much the most vulnerable, so precious for us, and wishing for the rest of the hostages to be released, and thanking God that this has begun and we are able to continue passing on our values and welcoming them home with warmth and love and open arms. Wishing everybody a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat of peace.